Hi guys, it is Shining Polaris and just finished watching AEW Dynamite's take-home show right before Revolution, which Revolution is going to happen this Sunday. And, okay, I know you probably say I'm biased because I love AEW, but this was a really good episode. I really cannot even, really point out one bad thing about this. I mean, this will probably have to be their best take-home episode yet, for real. I mean, it was the first match. They went hard. That first match was the Cody and Red Velvet versus Shaq and Jade match, and that was absolutely crazy. I never doubted this match. I already knew it was going to be super entertaining, and they just so Cody and Red Velvet came out first. And then you had Jade come out, and she just looked absolutely amazing in her gear. She had that gold chrome. She just looked awesome. And then you had Shaq come out, and then you have Shaq in the back with Jade in the front, and they're both flexing. I mean, they just look like an absolutely unstoppable team. That match was very good, and I'm gonna watch it very soon on the rerun in an hour. Shaq just, every time he chopped or slapped Cody, it just looked devastating. Of course, as you expect, Shaq didn't do too much in this match. He did do enough so I could be satisfied with, but it was really to showcase Jade and Red Velvet, and they were both killing each other. I mean, you got Red Velvet, who is slimmer and a lot smaller, but she was kicking Jade's ass, and of course, anytime Jade just went after Red Velvet, just destroyed her. So I mean, they both would just look awesome. The one of the good spots of that match, I would say, when you had Jade, Cody, and Shaq on the ground, and then Red Velvet jumped onto them. That was pretty cool. And then Red Velvet, Jade first, and then Red Velvet started setting up two tables for some reason. And then first you're thinking, okay, it's gonna be one of those girls we thrown in. But no, it was eventually, right at the end, Cody and Shaq jumping onto the tables. It's at the end, you got Jade and Red Velvet. They were trying to, do some sort of maneuver to each other, but they kept countering out and rolling out of it. But eventually, Jade she body slammed or power slammed Red Velvet to the ground, and of course she was just sitting on top of her, flexing the whole time Jade posed, and she just looked amazing, and Jade won, so she looked great as the winner in her debut. As for Shaq, he was sleeping on the ground. No, he was knocked out from going to the table, and then they brought him to the hospital, and then they were saying they were going to give an update. And spoiler, they never did. So I guess he just went went to Happy Land or something. So, but yeah, that match was just so good. The people I'm sure they were really just trying to push was Red Velvet and Jade, and they both just looked amazing. So absolutely future women stars in AEW. The next little bit was just a Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley little video package to promote their match. No doubt in my mind, this is going to be amazing. Cannot wait to see that. The next bit, I believe, was the Inner Circle press conference thing. No, actually, I'm going to... Is it? No, I'm going to go... I don't think so. We're going to go with the jobber match, which is Rey Fenix and Pac versus two of the AEW Dark guys. I know one was John Skyler. I forgot the other guy's name. So this match was literally just promoted a few hours today, so it wasn't really a big build-up, but of course it was just a jobber match, but who doesn't want to see Pac and Rey? So of course they went and destroyed them in 5 minutes, which was fine because I like those two, and hopefully Death Triangle is going to be the first Trios champion when they get that belt. So that was good. The next one was the Inner Circle press conference thing, and you cannot go wrong with MJF and Chris Jericho. They are just hilarious, especially MJF. So they had three different people to ask questions. I can honestly forgot who the first person was, but the second guy was JR's podcast partner. God, what is his name? Conrad Thompson. I totally forgot his name is. And I think MJF, so I just love it. Every time anybody's talking, you'll have Jericho's like, shut up, get off. Like, I just think that is hilarious. So as Jericho's yelling at Conrad to shut up and get off the stage, you have MJF, I think he called him turkey tits or something, I don't know. Whatever MJF says is just gold. So that was hilarious. And then the last person to come in to ask a question was Eric Bischoff, and someone on the commentary team, I want to say it's Tony or Excalibur, one of them was like, does Bischoff have a AEW media pass? Because he's always here asking the question. I thought that was hilarious. So that was I'm sure a mini pop for many. So he asked his question. So after that whole thing went down, you see the Young Bucks come out, and they're just super mad at MJF and Chris Jericho for obviously hurting their dad, and you just have Matt and Nick Jackson. They were insulting both Chris and MJF really bad. Because they're saying that if their dad wasn't here, there would not be any AEW. If there's no AEW, MJF would, be at home in his mom's house waiting for, indie calls or something, and then Jericho would be at the Performance Center, like what is it? I don't know, doing maintenance or something. I don't know exactly the words, but it's something like that. So they're really getting mad, and of course you had Nick and Matt Jackson were like, my dad told me never step down from a fight, something like that. They went and super kicked both of them, and they just started beating up the Inner Circle. So of course, Inner Circle, they have like 6 people there. Young Bucks is just by themselves. Then you had the Good Brothers came out, so Good Brothers came out and they helped the Young Bucks, but they went and they had a table set up, and then they I don't know if it's actually Good Brothers or it was the Young Bucks that set up, I think it was Ortiz onto the table. Young Bucks climbed up all the way high up above their little tunnel thing and jumped down and smash Ortiz right through the table. So that's, of course, your little preview of their tag team match, which would be at Revolution. The next is, like I said, sorry if some of this out of order, but the next is one of the matches I really want to see, and this was really good. It was FTR with Tully Blanchard versus Jurassic Express. And of course, again, a lot of criticism online because they're like, Tully is so old, how is he going to wrestle? It was still very cool to see him, and they pulled out no stop. So you got Tully coming out. He had his black robe on, and he comes out with a former manager, J.J. Dillon. And Tully has his matching, red and white gear on, but he just looked like a coach. He was just like a polo with pants on and his white boots. So you had Marco Stunt and Tully Blanchard starting out the match, and of course Tully is just killing Marco. As you expect, of course Tully can't do too much, so he's mostly just outside on the apron while Dax and Cash did most of the work. Anytime you have, obviously FTR is one of the best tag teams. Jurassic Express, just a cool tag team too. So it was just crazy. And then the funniest part was when Luchasaurus came in and he is beating down on FTR. And then you see Tully trying to get into the ring, and I was like, oh, what is he doing? And then as Luchasaurus, I believe, like did double clothesline to FTR or something like that, he just stepped back out, and you can hear the commentary team saying the same thing. I just thought that was funny. There was another point where you had FTR and Jurassic Express. They are somehow, I can't remember exactly how, but they were outside of the ring, and then you see Tully like looking at them, and he's running to the ropes, bounced himself off. It looked like he was going to do a Tope Suicida or whatever onto whoever's on the ground, but as he's running, he just stopped and he's like, yeah, no. It's like, good, we don't want the old man to hurt himself. End of this match, oh man, there's just a lot of things can go down. Now, end of this match, so you had, Luchasaurus, and he's like thrown onto FTR side or whatever. Somebody in a black hoodie goes and hits him, and so that like somewhat knocks Luchasaurus out, and Tully, who's the one tagged in, goes ahead and pins Luchasaurus. So you got the veteran Tully Blanchard pinning down the monster Luchasaurus. So that was a pretty cool image. At the end, when you had FTR, Tully and JJ Dillon all like together in the group in the middle of the ring, the guy in the hoodie is standing in the corner, and he walks into them with them. He takes off his mask and his hood, and who is it? Shawn Spears! And of course, this is what we're waiting for forever, is the Four Horsemen mini reunion. So you have Shawn Spears going into the middle ring, and just kind of like when the Elite did, their Too Sweet sign in when they first all got together, this was kind of the same deal. You had Four Horsemen, all put their hands in, did their little thing, and then to make that even more confirmed or whatever, you had Arn Anderson come out in the tunnel. He just stays in the tunnel, but he's like this, and it was just really cool. So it was cool to see Shawn Spears back. I mean, I think he is so underutilized in AEW, and I hope FTR, Tully, Shawn Spears, they'll work together to make that Four Horsemen thing going on, because that's all we want. So yes, that was a pretty cool ending to that match. Oh yeah, and then immediately right after, they barely even walked into the tunnel to leave. You have Tony Schiavone comes out, and he's saying that everyone just blew up on the huge announcement, which was Paul Wight, aka Big Show, signed on to AEW to be commentary, and on their new show, AEW Dark Elevation. So you had Paul Wight come out, and he had this amazing shirt. I love it. It said "No more BS." You hear everybody in the crowd like "No more BS," which, by the way, I think the crowd for this show, either this was their biggest crowd yet or whatever, but you can just hear the excitement and the cheers of the crowd. That was very cool, and I think Revolution is going to be their biggest crowd yet, so it's going to be cool to see and to hear the crowd then. But anyhow, so Paul Wight went, and he just said stuff like first he was like, who predicted this turn? I thought that was just really funny. But he came out to basically just say he's happy to work for AEW, whatever. But he said for Revolution, he's going to come out and he's going to make a very big announcement, because they have signed someone Hall of Fame worthy to AEW, and he's like, tune into Revolution to see what that is. So immediately I tweeted out a picture of CM Punk, and I was like, CM Punk All Elite. So anyway, that's my huge prediction who's going to be, but that'll be in another video. So yeah, so I can't wait to see who got signed. Then the next is, of course, the women's Eliminator Tournament final match, which is Nyla Rose versus Rio. And, I've said this on Twitter, I was very disappointed that Nyla Rose won against Thunder Rosa, because, and I have nothing against Nyla Rose, it's just the thing is that, how many times do we have to see Shida versus Nyla? And Nyla has already been a champion, and I feel like she don't need to be pushed anymore, because, she already got Vicky Guerrero on her side. She's already was a women's champion. She's already got so many chances to go up against the women's champion. It's like, can we please push someone else new? So that was my only thing about it. But regardless, she's a great wrestler, and this match was amazing. So of course, so she comes out, Nyla comes out first, and then you have Rio Mizunami coming out, and it was really cool to see and hear her entrance, because it's obviously watching it on YouTube in their little studio thing in Japan, you couldn't really hear anything, but so that was really cool. Obviously, you got these two super strong women just going at each other. No doubt, this was an amazing match too. Of course, coming in, I was like, there's no way Rio could lose this, because again, we already seen Shida versus Nyla, but again, you don't know what's going on, and there were so many near pinfalls. I was really like, are they gonna have Nyla win again? But it was cool, because if I'm correct, I think Nyla went and hit her. I think she hit her Beast Bomb onto Rio, and Rio kicked out. So that just made Rio look super strong. And then, of course, shortly after that, I can't remember what Rio's finish, I'm sorry, but she landed it on to Nyla. and Nyla lost. So Rio won, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's with the trophy there. Hikaru Shida was there with her trophy, and I'm telling you, she just looked absolutely gorgeous. She had her belt on her shoulder, but she was wearing all white. And she had heels on, and she was carrying the trophy in to give it to Rio. It was just like really cool moment. I really like that. And again, just to show how important this tournament was. So you had Rio accept the trophy, and then and then totally unexpected move, she just punched Shida in the face. So of course you're gonna want to punch the champion in the face. So yeah, so that's what you're gonna get at Revolution. Shida versus Rio. That's going to be cool. You got these two amazing Japanese women, and I believe they fought each other before, and so they got good chemistry. So it's going to be a great match, no doubt about that. The next match is Preston Vance versus Max Caster, and that is to determine the last person to be on the ladder match. Well, last known person, and then they're going to have one new person, surprise entry. Yeah, Preston, who comes out with -1 and the Dark Order, they come out, and then you have Max Caster coming out next with rapping, and so he obviously disses -1 and Preston. His raps are funny. I've already said this before. I don't know. I know he's not a bad wrestler and whatever, but I'm just not into Max Caster. And the first thing he said in his rap was something to Preston about Lady Gaga's dog, and I'm like, dog walker, whatever that situation was. I was like, ugh, that's way too soon. So that's the only down for me, is that he really shouldn't have said that. But the rest of the stuff he said was pretty good. So so this match, I really expected Preston to win this, because he's -1's favorite wrestler, and I figured it'd be just cool because we've been trying to push Preston so hard to be a really good singles wrestler. But yeah, so at the end, out from under the ring, you had Jack Evans, and he hits Preston with the boombox, and I was like, oh no, don't tell me he's gonna lose. And yeah, that's what happened. Max Caster gets on top of Preston, and Max pins him for the win. So it'll be Max going to the ladder match. But again, I'm not super disappointed at this loss, because so you see Jack Evans hits him, right, and then you see Matt Hardy comes out, and he has the envelope, and it says $4,000, and he gives it to Jack. So it basically, he was paying him to beat up Preston, because we're gonna continue that storyline with Max wanting to destroy everybody in Dark Order to make Adam Page sad, mad, whatever. So I'm fine with that. So if it continues that storyline, that is fine. So yeah, so we will see that, and just like I said, I will do a separate video on my predictions. So you got all the people the ladder match up to one surprise entrance. So the last, immediately coming right after, is the main event, which is Matt Hardy and Isaiah Kassidy. Yes, that's right. And versus Hangman, Adam Page, and John Silver. Now this match, they changed it, I believe, a day or so ago, because it was supposed to be a huge match. With Dark Order and Adam Page with Hardy Party and TH2, but they changed that for some reason, maybe just because that's too much. Maybe that was. So of course, who doesn't love? Everybody in this match was amazing. Who doesn't love Adam Page and John Silver? They just look cool, and who doesn't like the Dark Order? And I'm always a fan of Matt Hardy, and so yeah. So at the end of this match, which is the most important part, this is where we're heading to Revolution with. So the end of this match, you had it was Adam Page. He goes and he lands his buckshot lariat onto Isaiah Kassidy, and before he does, so he knocks Kassidy out. Then he looks at Matt Hardy really angrily. You can see Matt Hardy's just oh, I can't believe it. And he goes, and then Adam goes and he pins Kassidy, and then you have Matt Hardy started to beat down Adam Page, and he's yelling at him, and he's like, I'm gonna kill you at Revolution. I'm gonna take all your money, and this ain't gonna be the end for me and the Dark Order. So as Matt beating Adam up, then you see the Dark Order comes in, and they go and they try to beat Matt Hardy up. And of course, then you see a couple more people come in. This is the rest of the tag team in that tag team battle royale. So they start coming out, and then everyone just came out, and it was just a huge brawl. So this is kind of your preview of that tag team battle royale thingy. The best part is you see -1 standing on the ramp. He's like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" that was really cute. A second before the screen went to black, you hear like the Lucha Bros music, and then you see the Lucha Bros in there. So I guess that's your last entry of the battle royale is the Lucha Brothers. I had a wild prediction of that. I did not think they were going to announce it there. I thought it was just going to be during the show. So anyhow, I'll just mention that later. But anyhow, no joke, 10 out of 10 for me for this episode. Amazing all around. I can't really pick one lame thing in this episode. It was just really, really good. Even they announced the buy-in, which was going to be cool. That is Thunder Rosa and Rio versus Britt Baker and Reba. So that's your buy-in match. So yeah, okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I know the video is long as usual. I will post another video of my predictions now that I've seen Dynamite. So go and check that out very soon. I'll be doing that very soon. All right, thank you so much, guys. See ya. Bye.